Hello, hello, and happy Monday, everyone. Hope that y'all had a beautiful weekend and are having a fantastic day so far. I see we got Chiheb, aka Hun Hun Hun, Stelios Lampakis in the early gang, and Susan was in here earlier. How are you all doing? Kalispera Stelios, says Chiheb, aka. Is that Greek for hello? How you doing? How was everyone's weekend? I know I was really excited on Friday. I was talking to you all about UFC 296. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards, and a bunch of other fights. And then it ended up being a stinker. So it's funny how sometimes the cards that you're the most excited for end up being like the least exciting when they end up happening. But I did still have a good time hanging out with the homies in Discord. Pokemax in the chat as well, dropping the albino and the purple hearts. How are you doing? Stelios Lampakis says, happy Monday, Kalispera. Ooh, dropping the Kalispera back. What does Kalispera mean? I want to know. I was also having some fun playing some Counter-Strike over the weekend with my brother and some friends. Shout out to my brother because he also bought me as an early Christmas present the alternate art Enel Leader, which is the deck that we're going to be playing today because we are playing the One Piece card game. So I'm going to switch things over to the display, and this is the Los Angeles Regionals for the One Piece card game that just happened this past weekend. Shout out to Eggman Events for covering, commentating, and showing this breakdown of all of the results. I think it was 499 of 498 players. Yo! Pokemax! What are you doing, Pokemax? And Brawly, Brawly pulls! Oh, out of nowhere! I gotta stand up and belly drum. Caught me sleeping. Let's go, Brawly pulls, gifting Pokemax, Pajama Sam, and Ultimate Pack Battles, all gifting gifted memberships to the Manatee Nation. Thank you so much, Brawly pulls. How are you doing? And how's your day been going? How was your weekend? Stelios Lapaka says it means good evening. Ooh, well, thank you for letting us know, Stelios. Memek also gifted a membership courtesy of Brawly pulls. Plato's Vault also gifted a membership courtesy of Brawly pulls. Let's go. And Brawly pulls is flexing the 9-month height. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Brawly pulls if you haven't already. I'm going in and I'm dropping a link for him myself. How you doing, Brawly pulls? How you been? What's been your favorite pull that you've gotten recently on the channel? Dude, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Hope you've been having an awesome weekend and are gonna have an awesome week. I'm dropping the link. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Brawly Pulls, an absolute legend. He's got a ton of fun every time he goes live, and he goes live for much longer hours than I do, so you gotta go check him out for even more entertainment that I could possibly ever provide. It's gonna be there on the Brawly Pulls channel. It's got rip and ship, giveaways, and entertainment, and more. Awesome guy. Make sure you drop some love for him. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Brawly. We're going over the One Piece Regionals. We're going to be playing the One Piece card game online today, which is completely free. I've got a video on how to download it if anyone's curious and wants to learn how to play. Can also answer any questions as we're playing. But the Enel deck did take down the championship. We had 5 in the top 16. 6 Sakazukis, which Sakazuki ended up winning. I played in a One Piece tournament over the past weekend at the Darkside comic book store, and it was for the anniversary of the One Piece card game, and I got my butt kicked. I was playing Katakuri, I lost to Purple Luffy, and I lost to Purple Red Trafalgar Law. 2 great players as well, and just I got steamrolled. But congratulations to Cardex Board, who won the whole thing with Sakazuki, and even beat a really good Katakuri player to get the victory as well. So definitely well earned. But I think going forward, I'm going to be switching from the Katakuri to the Enel. It's another yellow leader list. Performing a little bit better, but not just as it performing a little bit better, I really like the cards that are in the deck as well. Skypiea is one of my favorite story arcs in One Piece. I think that it's got great foreshadowing for the future as well. It's one of the ones that, like, almost every year I go back and I either reread or I rewatch, or I think quite possibly both for the Skypiea arc. I think every year for the last like 10, 15 years, I've been rereading the Skypiea arc because I really like it. I like all even the vassals, and they got great artwork in here. So this is the deck that won the regional. Very curious, or very interestingly, it's only got 2 copies of Shura. I'm going to be playing a list today with 4 copies of Shura, but we'll be mindful as we're playing if this is a card that maybe we're seeing it too much, and maybe we could cut it to make room for some other cards. It's also playing 2 of the starter deck, Charlotte Linlin, which I'm not personally planning on playing this card. I think that there's enough other high-end cards that just most cases for the 7-drop, I'd rather be playing the Enel or the Katakuri on that Dawn, but we'll see how we feel as we play the games. This was another list that went 8 and 2. So you can see here they're playing the 4 Shura and no starter deck Linlin, but they are playing 2 of the El Thor, which is a pretty cool new event. And then here's another list as well, which is different from the others in that it is playing Brûlé, and it's not playing any of the 200 million volts Amaru, which I personally really like the 200 million volts Amaru, and I'm not as big a fan of Brûlé in the current meta, because I do think Brûlé is a little too easy to remove. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, because, and again, shout out to Eggman for giving us all these results. Here's the one Katakuri list that did make the top 16 at the event, and they're running 4 Brûlé. Now, the person did also mention and say that this is the budget version of the list, and they couldn't afford Katakuri Secret Rare, so if they could have, they would have been playing the Katakuri, and maybe they cut the Brûlé to make room for it, but they were the only one that top 16'd, and they were running 4 of the Brûlé. So I'm not quite sure, honestly, how I feel about the Brûlé. They are running 4 Smoothie, which I do like that. I think I need to up my Smoothie count next time I do play Katakuri. But some things to think about. Some things to think about. I'm going to switch over into the display here. I'm also going to grab the chat. Where's the chat? So we can see at the same time. Brawly Poles says, how's it going, Cardex Board? Cardex Board says, hey, Brawly Poles. Oh, hey, as we're talking about Cardex Board, he's in the chat. Let's go. How are you doing, Cardex Board? Congratulations on the victory. And I'm curious, what were your favorite matchups in the tournament? Which ones were the toughest matchups? Was it the Katakuri matchup against Bradley? I know you said you were sweating on that one. And I'm curious, how did your matchup go with Tristan? Hey, yo, how's it going? Plebisaurus Rex dropping the link from Brawly. Yo, Plebisaurus Rex, how are you doing? And Bilal and Cards says, want to play a game together? Yes, I would be down, Bilal and Cards. How you doing? Have you been keeping up with the One Piece? I've been seeing you've been playing the Lorcana. What's been your favorite card game to play lately? And if you are playing the One Piece, what deck are you playing lately? We're going to build the Enel deck that I'm going to be using right now. So let's start off with first and foremost, the Enel leader. And then if you're going to be playing yellow, I feel like it's just an easy, whether it's Katakuri or whether it's Enel, you're going to want to run 4 of the Gang Beige, and you're going to want to run 4 of the Sanji. So where is Sanji? They're both in Kingdoms of Intrigue. Oh, no, that's not that one. There's Sanji and the Gang Badge. So these are 2 cards that are just fantastic to hit off the trigger and can help you stay alive. And sometimes in cards like the Gang Badge can just outright win you the game if it lands at the right time. In addition, other cards that I really like off of the trigger, Shirahoshi. Now, I've seen some people play 2 Shirahoshi. I've seen some people play 3 Shirahoshi. I'm going to try 4 Shirahoshi here for the consistency of seeing it a lot of my life to help me filter out some of the other higher costed cards in the deck that don't have any counter power. So that's our basic yellow universal trigger pool. Now, let's go into some of the Sky Island specific cards. Shura. I'm going to start off by running 4 of the Shura. This is a searcher card that lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then reveal 1 Sky Island card other than Shura and add it to your hand. Yo, Jeremy Newman and the Zard Mafia dropping the 12 months hype. Yo, Jeremy Newman, a whole year, the General. Thank you. Celebrates 12 months of membership. I see flashing buttons and I push. What is good, fam 100? Yo, appreciate you, Jeremy Newman and the Zard Mafia. Appreciate you. We're going to be playing some One Piece card game online. I am doing all well. Thank you for being a member of the Manatee Nation for a whopping 12 months. And how are you doing today, my man? Appreciate you. I think we were talking about the Sky Island cards that we're running. So 4 copies of Shura. Now, I'll say a downside to this is because it's 2 Dawn and not 1 Dawn, like the Pudding Searcher and a lot of other searchers, there's actually not a lot of turns where this is a good card to play because there's just other things that you're going to want to play with your Dawn as yellow. It might honestly only be good as... Wait, is that another... Okay, just a delayed notification there. It might honestly just be good as a turn 1 play if you're going second or off of a trigger. And then it is nice that you can loop it with Katakuri and send it back into your life and get another trigger. But this is a card that, you know, after hearing the winner's thoughts on it, maybe this is something that could be cut to make room for some other powerful cards. For now, though, we're going to start off with 4. Another really good card to run, and another one of the Sky Island Priests, is the Satori. He's got 2k counter, so he can be used defensively, but his trigger also allows you to play him for free if you discard a card from your hand. So that helps you filter out some of the cards that you can't use early on, and then play the Satori and overwhelm your opponent with characters on the board. Board control is really, really, really important in this meta, and a lot of games can be determined almost by who flips the board. Now, speaking of which, and this is probably maybe even the main reason I'm really liking the Enel. I know Enel's ability is that he lets you restore your life whenever it hits 0 one time each turn during your opponent's turn. But I'm really liking this Ohm card in it right here. Another one of the Sky Island Priests. And we're going to be running 4 copies of him because he says if you have 2 or less life, this card gains plus 1,000 power. So that works both offensively and defensively. And because you're only starting with 4 life, you're probably going to be at 2 life very quickly. But even better than that, he says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 holy card and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So he searches and adds a card. But even if you don't hit that holy in that search, if you already had one in your hand, then you can play it for free. And what card is holy? It's this dog! I mean, who doesn't want a kung fu martial artist dog on their team? And the fact that you can play this card for free and help you get that board control and take over the board early game on your opponents, I think is essential right now in the meta. So really, really good combo right there. The Ohm and the Holly. We're going to be running 4 of each of those. And then the final of the Sky Island Priests is Gadatsu. This guy actually got an alt art, and at first I thought this card was going to be amazing. And it's still really good because it's the only, besides Thunderbolt, the only on-card removal, like on-play. This is the only like character that you can play and remove a card from your opponent. So yellow doesn't have a lot of spot removal options. It makes it so it's hard for them to deal with a lot of blockers if your opponent plays a lot of blockers. But the Gadatsu can help you remove those blockers while still placing a character on the board in the same turn. So you're still maintaining that board presence. However, it can only KO an opponent's characters with a cost equal or less than their life. So the downside of that is that, like the purple Luffy deck, the blockers for that deck are mostly 5 cost. So unless you're not attacking your opponent's life, or they're not even activating their Luffy effect, which they're going to be in taking a life anyways, this card actually ends up being like a dead card a lot of times. Like a lot of times at best, you might be hitting like the 3 cost Zoro Joru, or maybe you hit a Trafalgar Law 4 cost blockers, but it's actually not as good as I thought it was going to be, but it still is good, so we're going to run 3 copies of it. And this is a card that maybe as we're playing more, maybe we drop it down to just 2, because there's a lot of times where in the niche when you can play it, it's fantastic. But outside of those niches, it just becomes a 1k counter, which isn't terrible. At least it still has counter power. And then we're going to grab one more Sky Island character, Conus. This isn't a character that we play. We're just using this card for the counter plus 2,000 defensively, because right now we only have the Gang Bej and the Satori. That's only 8. Typically, I like to run 12 in decks, but because I'm relying already on the built-in defensive capabilities of the Enel leader's ability, we only need 2 for right now. But we'll see. We'll see. That's the Sky Island cards. Now let's go into some of the bigger heavy hitter boss monsters of the deck, if you will. First off, and I guess it's still another Sky Island card, the Enel. We're going to run 3 of this new Enel character card. His ability is Rush, so you can attack with him the turn that he's played. That's really good because in the current meta, decks like Sakazuki and other decks out there as well, even the red-purple Trafalgar Law, there's a lot of removal out there right now in the current meta. So you could play an 8-cost Charlotte Lin or 7-cost Charlotte Linlin, but before it ever really gets to get a swing onto your opponent is going to drop 2 event cards and then play Rob Lucci and KO it. So instead, you can play this Enel card. It gets to swing the turn that you play it, so you get value out of it. And then once per turn, if the character were to be removed, you can trash a card from your life instead. Now, I do like the flavor where this ability doesn't work if Luffy is on the field. Fortunately, there's not a lot of Luffy characters in play at the moment. But interesting rush, interesting ability. You just have to be careful that you don't lose the game by taking a life to protect the Enel, and then your opponent switches up strategies and goes after your life. Next boss monster is Katakuri, and I think 3 copies of the Katakuri is good. I've debated out 4 copies because this is another card that in the niche scenarios is super, super strong to play, but it doesn't have any counter power, and sometimes you can just lose games from having too many Katakuris in hand too early, and you don't have enough ways to get rid of them, and you just can't counter out of your opponent's attacks, and you lose. That happened to me, unfortunately, on the tournament on Sunday, playing even with Katakuri. Now, though, this deck doesn't have access to Big Mom, and I think 10-cost Big Mom is still the one big strength advantage that Katakuri does have over the Enel. However, in this current meta, this Yamato card is still really, really strong. If you only have 1 life, which is what's going to happen a lot of times, you can restore a life with the Yamato, which is really good with the Enel, but then on top of that, you get to KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost that is equal to or less than the total life of you and your opponent. Again, a lot of times this isn't going to be hitting as a high cost of a card as you would like. It's probably not going to hit those 5-cost cards, and even if it does, the game is probably decided anyways if there's that much life still on the table when you're playing a 9-cost card. But sometimes in certain matchups, this can help you just get rid of that 1 or 2-cost blocker to pave the way for an attack. Now we've got spots for 7 more cards, and these are going to be 200,000 or 200 million volts Amaru. This card you use to deal with blockers from your opponent's side. So sometimes we want to use Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is one of our main ways to remove characters on our opponent's side of the board. But Thunderbolt, you need to trash one of your own cards from your life. Sometimes you might not have that life available, or sometimes you just might not want to do that. So we have the Amaru as well as backup. Now we do still have to run 3 copies of Thunderbolt because this is something that we do still want to see in life. So we need to run it enough times that we're getting some games where we're seeing this in life. And it hits the 5-cost purple Luffy blockers that the Amaru doesn't. However, 4 cost is going to cover most of the blockers in the game. It's going to cover you for black and blue Sakazuki. It's going to cover you in the mirror against yellow Enel or Katakuri. But against purple Luffy, we need the Thunderbolt. Now we have room for 2 more cards left in the deck. And this is where we could either go different directions. We could go 2 copies of Charlotte Linlin to add more boss monsters and more ways to close out games. We could use 2 copies of El Thor. El Thor is a new event. It's like a reverse radical beam. You can hold on to a copy of El Thor and try and starve out your opponent and drag things out into the late games and win from there. But I am going to try today running 2 copies of Cracker. And I only saw the person who won the event, the regional event, running the Cracker. And they said it was really strong for them all day because a lot of times if it hit the board, the opponents didn't have the resources to defend against it, so they lose the 2 life, or they end up burning so many resources to protect themselves from the Cracker that they then lose to everything else thereafter. So this is the deck that we're going to try to start things off, And we're going to, in particular, focus on the amounts of Shura. Are we seeing this card too much? Shirahoshi. Is this card impactful when we're seeing it? Cracker. Do I feel like this Cracker could be an El Thor or a starter deck Lin? I would say those are the three things that we're going to be looking at. Even the Katakuri too, a little bit, but I would say mostly Shura, Shirahoshi, Cracker. Now let's go back to lobby. And Bilal and Cards, if you are still here, I'm down to play a game if you would like. We can go private. We can host a private game. Copy the clipboard. I'll throw it into the chat. Yo, Harls420, how you doing? How are you doing? Today's been going very well. How's your day been going, Harls420? Cali Life TCG says, hey, what's up, Albino? Hype King, yo! How you doing, Cali Life TCG? And Lurkin Lowry saying, hype, hype, hype! Buddy the Doge saying, Albino! Yo, thank you, everyone, for dropping the hype. Apologies for not seeing you during the deck explanation. If you have any questions about the game, let me know. If anyone wants me to explain anything as we're going, happy to explain. You too! Bilal and Cards, cheers. Drinking some 365 Whole Foods Market sports drink. So I'm going to choose to go second. I'm actually going to choose to go first, because you know what? I think Enel actually wants to be more aggressive since I'm playing the Crackers. I think I want to play this a little bit more aggressively. Since I'm going first, I don't think I need this Shura. I do like seeing the Gadatsu here, but I think we've got a lot of cards that I would rather see in my trigger. A lot of 2Ks, so let's mulligan. All right, this is a little bit better. I like seeing the holies in hand, so we just need to find an Ohm and we can get that combo going. I'm going to draw a Dawn, and then I'm going to pass. I don't have any Gadatsus in hand, so I don't need to worry about starving my opponent, so I'm okay to swing a life here. Bilal is going to start off by playing a brand new, so this is Black has their own Searcher card, and he is a 2-cost. And he looks at the top 3, and they can reveal up to 1 Navy card other than brand new and add it to their hand, then trash the remaining cards. A lot of other searchers send the cards to the bottom of the deck. It's actually a good thing that the brand new trashes them, because there's another card that we might see later that Sakazuki plays that grabs cards from the graveyard and adds it back to your hand. So now we're at 3 Dawn. I don't have the Ohm, but I can swing in with the Sakazuki. Swing into the Sakazuki for 5,000. And you can tell how much attack I'm swinging because on the top right of the card is the power. And see, the Sakazuki leader has 5,000. My leader has 5,000. Since it's a tie, the tie goes to the attacker. So Bilal is deciding, does he want to take one of his life cards or does he use one of his cards from his hand to defend? And he does. He uses Tashigi to counter out of the attack so he doesn't take any damage. And now I'm going to play Holy, and I'm going to pass. Cards, unless they have the keyword Rush, like this one, cannot attack the turn that they're played. So it looks like Bilal is going to attack into me, and Sakazuki's ability is that one of his abilities is that when he attacks, he minuses the cost of a character. That's important because he has other cards that removes cards based on their cost. The lower the cost, the easier they are to remove. So he's going to go 5,000 into my life, and I don't want to take this damage right now. So I'm going to go no blocker, and I am going to... I'll counter out with a Charlotte Cracker. So I use my Charlotte Cracker, which has counter plus 1,000 to block the attack. I was debating about playing the Charlotte Cracker next turn, but right there, that's why I didn't, because I figured that my opponent... Yo, Pocket Packs! Pocket Packs, how are you doing? Flexing the member for 11 months. Let's go, Pocket Packs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Saying almost at that 1 year. Let's go, Albino. Excited to see some OPCG on the line. Yes. Let me know if you have any questions, Pocket Packs. And thanks for hanging with us. How's your weekend been going? Enjoyed your last stream for sure. Thank you for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. And see, we got James and Elena, TCG and Collectibles as well, saying, what's up, legend? How you doing, James and Elena? How you doing, definitely not Derek Reyes? How you doing, my Sassy Boots UK? How you doing, Sir Parker? How you doing, John? Sir Bane, and how you doing, John Parker? I'm sorry, combine the names. Wreck Rod's Gaming and Dart, those coming in with the Bane raid, hit the like button as well, please. Yo, Bane Raiders, I'm sorry. Bane Raiders, I am so sorry for this. I was playing the... Thank you so much, Sir Bane, for the raid, you madman. If you could be so kind as to drop the link for Sir Bane, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Sir Bane. Thank you for the raid, and appreciate you, my guy. How are you doing? Thank you. And we got Chocolate in the chat saying, Bonkai, how are you doing? Did you see the new Bleach trailer yet? No, did it come out this weekend, Chocolate? I have not. I need to watch that. Yo, thank you so much for the raid, Sir Bane. How was your stream? What were you doing on the stream? Appreciate you all. Leo the Litton as well coming through. Welcome, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm good, thank you, says my Sassy Boots UK. Sir Parker, says John Parker. Yes, Sir Parker. I like it. You've been knighted, John. Oh, here, this is good. Since Bilal actually defended his life here, now we drew into the Gadatsu, and now we can play the Gadatsu and KO the Rebecca. So that was a really good play right there, and the Gadatsu definitely getting some value. That felt good. Now I want to try and control the board, so I'm going to attack my Holly into the Hina. And controlling the board, what I mean by that is I want to have more characters on the board than my opponent. And that is going to allow me to, whenever they create their characters, basically, I'm going to just attack over them to destroy them. Or they'll have to spend so many resources to defend them that they then don't have other cards in their hand to play against me. All right. Back to Bilal. John Parker says, another day closer to Card Party. Yes, I am excited. I'm excited. I was actually thinking about Card Party earlier today on the way to work. It's awesome. Eisen. Ooh, okay. Then I definitely need to see. I'm hoping we see new content. I know they've already said that we're going to see new content we haven't seen before. Like we saw this last season. But man, imagine if we saw Eisen's Bankai. I would freak out. The Pokédon says 30th like. What's up, Albino Manatee? Yo, how you doing, the Pokédon? Thanks for joining us, Brandon. Sir Bane says Monday night pack battles and members giveaway. Gem Mint 10 Mew promo 2000. Yo, that is a spicy giveaway, Sir Bane. That is a spicy giveaway. That is hype. What won the pack battle? LOL, much love, Albino, says James and Elena. Much love to you too, James. All right, Bilal was minusing my cards now. And he's got 4 Dawn active. That makes me think that he's going to play Rob Lucci. So he's going to go 5 into the Holly. I will take this. I will take this. And the reason I took that is because I think that Bilal has a Rob Lucci card. So even if I would have countered a card out to defend the Holly, I think that the Rob Lucci would have KO'd it anyways. Oh, nope, now he's not playing. Now he's playing the Houndblaze. All right, now I feel like an idiot. I'll take that life. Ooh, do I want to use this trigger? So the trigger says I get to trash 2 cards from my hand, and I can add a life from the top of my deck. I think I want to use this. No. Oh. Do I want to? I'm burning cards from the hand. Yes. I'm going to drop Thunderbolt. And I'm going to drop Sanji. Because I want to find an Ohm so I can combo it with the Holy. So I lost a lot of cards from my hand, which sucked there. But I added a card back to my life, which eventually will be going back into my hand. So I'm okay with that because I know next turn I'm just going to play the Enel for 7 Dawn. And it looks like Bilal was playing a Searcher card with the brand new. So he's maybe trying to fish for a Rob Lucci card. So you drew a Tashigi. Alright. I'll draw my Dawn, so I'm not going to play the Shirahoshi. I think I just go 5k into the brand new. And that should remove that. I wouldn't imagine that Bilal would defend it. But now we'll play the Enel, and because he has Rush, I can attack the turn that I'm playing him, and I'll go 7,000 into Bilal. And yeah, that should be hard for Bilal to counter out of. And now because of Enel's effect, if Bilal tries to remove the Enel, either by attacking it or using effects from his hand, I can trash a card from my life to protect it, which I may end up doing. I haven't decided yet. Yo, my Nakama TCG Battles, how you doing? Card Export says, nah, 100% keep it in hand. Yikes. You'll win games with it. No, this Card Export. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Bit of a mistake. Lord Rick knows, says, oh, just Josh and Professor. Did the king get his royal mail? No, Lord Josh. Lord Josh. No, I will go to my P.O. box tomorrow. I was planning on going to my P.O. box today. I did not get a chance to, but I will go tomorrow. Thank you for the heads up. I got some mail from Mythic Monty that I need to pick up. Oh yeah, very spicy mail since TCG Battles. Ooh, I'm excited. Hello, Slick Rex. This is Tommy T-Dog Lindell. Yo. How you doing, T-Dog? Are you going live tonight? All right. So Bilal is attacking into the Enel. I think I resolve and I use the card action to defend. And so we trash the Katakuri. I think I'm fine with that. Would have been kind of nice to play a Katakuri, but I think I'm okay. And now the Sabo. The Sabo blocker is good because the Sabo blocker actually gets around the Amaro. So now I don't feel as bad about ditching the Amaro. I am sad that we had to burn also the Thunderbolt, but this is the life that we live in. That manga rare for Sabo is beautiful. Drawing card, drawing Dawn. And now here's where I kind of wish that I had the Katakuri. How do I want to play this? I want to play the Holly for 3 Dawn, so I'm going to leave 6 to work with. I think I put 4 onto the Enel and then 2 onto the other Enel, and I swing for 9 and 9. And then play a 3-cost Holly and pass. This should theoretically force either a life or the Sabo blocker. There's the Sabo blocker. And then we'll put 2 onto the Enel character, and I will attack into the life. I can't imagine that... Yeah. And now we'll end turn. So now we've got the life advantage, and we still do have Enel's ability once we get down to 1 life. At this point, I'm hoping to see the next card that I would love to see is a Yamato. A Yamato 9 cost would be great. Another Enel 7 cost would also be fire. And you know what? I'm an idiot, and I passed, and I forgot to play the Holly. So, it turns out I'm just bad at the game in multiple different ways. There we go. Okay. I was like, you know what? I should block this, but I kind of want to see a card right now. So, probably a bad decision, but I think I made it work. No Holly? Yeah, Enrique, I know. I'm dumb. It turns out I'm just dumb. I even told you guys I was going to do it, and then I forgot to do it. All right. Using the card action to remove the Enel. I think I trashed the life here. Oh, there's the Ohm that I wanted to see. But I think this is all right. I can't go for game here. So I think what I do is I swing onto the Tashigi. Swing onto the life. This should be taking a life. And then I play the Yamato here. Oh, interesting. Bilal's going to counter out of it. I'm a little surprised by that. Play the Yamato, and I will pop the Branau. And then I will end turn. So now it's going to be hard, unless Bilal is playing multiple characters out here. It's going to be hard for him to burn that last life of Enel, thanks to Enel's ability. And I don't know if we've hit any triggers yet, partially because I'm dumb and I've trashed 2 of my own life myself, but maybe we could get a spicy trigger. Holy cow, says T-Dog. The calendar needs to happen. I gotta be more active in planning it. Oh yeah, the calendar. That was a great idea. Maybe card party we can get organized. All right. No blocker. I am going to counter out of that with a Shirahoshi. Yes, I am. 8 p.m. for Raw. Let's go. T-Dog's going to be going live tonight at 8 p.m. for some wrestling coverage. Pocket Packs is just Josh and Coco PC. I had the wife open mine for me since she had no clue what it was. Oh, man. That is great. I'm curious, Enrique, what decks are you playing right now? Okay. I think I just counter out of this. I think I just counter out with the Conus and don't worry about trashing a card for my life. Ooh. On play. Kaido getting to draw 4 cards. Spicy, spicy, spicy. We don't have any blockers to worry about. I think I just swing for game here. 3 attacks and try and get it through. I think I go with the lowest one first. Swing with a 9. I feel like the alternative would be trying to KO the Borsellino, but I feel like it... Oh, okay, all right. Well, they just counter right out of that one. Now that Bilal countered out of that one, now I feel like it's more prudent for me to just remove the Borsellino. You would have to have all 3 2Ks to get out of this, which would be crazy. Okay, I was gonna say, if those are all 3 2Ks, that would have been wild. So that's why I went 1300. And now I'll attack with 9. I guess, honestly, maybe leaving 1 open to play a Holly, 1 more extra to play with a Holly and swinging with 7 would have been... I don't know. I think this is fine. I think this is fine to keep a Holly in hand to counter with, potentially, because I have 0 counter power. So I gotta at least counter power out of just like a naked 5K Sakazuki swing. Currently finishing my first deck, Katakuri, and building a Bello Betty deck. Yo, nice, Enrique. I like the Katakuri deck a lot. It's the one that I've been playing for all of set 3 and set 4. And just to kind of spice things up a little bit, I'm switching to the Enel this set, but I do still really like the Katakuri, and it's probably going to be a deck that I do play still at some point. So there, we kept, at least I feel better about keeping the Holy to block the Sakazuki naked swing. Imagine opening up blindly to see all this, is just Josh. Will everyone be okay with the only Flarts content? I mean... Depends. I think it depends on how tastefully it's executed. I also saw there was a player in my local scene named Sam who brought the Bello Betty deck on our locals Sunday, and I don't know how he finished in the tournament. I think he finished better than I did. So at the very least, 2-2, maybe 3-1. But I know that his deck definitely caught some people by surprise. the Bello Betty, it can play out a lot of characters really quickly, and then it can give them all plus 3,000 power, up to 3 characters, which is a lot. It's like Zorro on crack. So it looks like Bilal used Great Eruption on Enel to minus the cost by 3. And then he's also attacked with the Sakazuki to reduce the cost as well. So now it's a cost 4. I'm guessing he's thinking in his hand a way to remove it. So now he's giving it minus 2. So now it's in range to be Rob Lucci. But even if he Rob Lucci's, I can still just trash a card from my life to protect it. Yep. So he's going to Hound Blaze. Oh, maybe he's going to Rob Lucci after this. That would be kind of cool. Huh. Let's think about this. If he Rob Lucci's after this, he still KOs it, and I lose the card in life. If he plays a Rob Lucci, then he doesn't have enough Dawn, though, to play another blocker. So I don't have to worry about keeping a life for Thunderbolt. I think I use the card action, and I force him to play the Rob Lucci, which then makes it so he can't play a blocker. I think that's my rationale, my logic. So use the card action. Oh, it was a gang badge trigger. I knew I was due for a nice trigger. I knew I was due for a nice trigger. Oh, I wonder if he just swings the Kaido into my... Yeah, he's going to swing the Kaido into the character. I feel like it would have been better to swing it into the Yamato, but now we'll take that. So the Mancheri. Looks like he's using the Mancheri possibly to grab a card out of the trash. But I think at best can grab... The best play here would be grabbing the Rebecca and then playing the Rebecca, I think, for 4 cost. Oh, Drew Sabo. Yeah. Not enough Dawn. Unfortunately, though, I've got the Thunderbolt in hand. So unfortunately, even if he plays the Rebecca, I Thunderbolt it, trash this card for my life, KO it, and then swing. I kind of want to try and get some other... I would be down for a rematch, but because I'm only playing for a little bit more Bilal, I want to try and get some matches against some other decks. So if you have another deck to play, I would be down, but I do want to show some other matches for the Enel. Take care, everyone. I got a jet. Have an amazing day. Albino, take them out. Yo, thank you, Pokedon. Appreciate it. 3 attacks you had game. Bolt wouldn't hit Sabo anyways, LOL. It wouldn't hit the Sabo, but he didn't have enough Dawn to play the Sabo. So... Oh, Pokesurge! I'm seeing it in the chat. Pokesurge says, I need to download this game, and also I want to learn the One Piece game. Sheesh! Also, I got your mail. We'll be opening tonight. Super excited. Yo, let's go. Looking forward to it, Pokesurge. I'm excited to see that as well. I will be watching the stream for sure. And thank you for the 555. Truly appreciate it. And if you have any questions about the game, please don't hesitate to ask. I've been thinking in my head about how I would, because I have a video about how to download and play like the online version, but not actually explaining the mechanics of the game. So I got to work on a script. That's something that I want to do because I definitely want to explain that to people. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I see Civic says, I want to know what you're playing onto you. I've just been playing beta, says Civic. Ooh, beta for what? Civic is dropping the 5s. PokeSurge says, Civic, what's up, bro? Stelio says, sheesh, dropping the 5s as well. TCG Battle says, sheesh, yo, Surge. PokeSurge is streaming soon. Yes, he should be going live in about 17 minutes or so. Let's go. Thank you so much for the 555. Thank you, PokeSurge. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. So I think I'm going to try and do... Sorry, Blah. I enjoyed the game, but I'm going to try and do some... I'll play 1 or 2 ladder games, and then I also got to call it a stream. So I want to try and face off against 1 or 2 other, depending on the length of this game, 1 or 2 other decks, just to show how the Enel matchup does. Because Sakazuki, I would say, is Enel's best matchup. I couldn't see the chat where you were talking about the Rebecca says card export. Oh yeah. The Thunderbolt wouldn't have hit the Sabo, which that's where it would have been the great play. And the Sabo gets around the Amaru as well. Okay, interesting, an Arlong. Okay, Arlong kind of takes me by surprise sometimes. I gotta take this seriously. Mulligan. So Wario's going first, and he chose to go first. I'm going second, so I've got Ohm as a potential play. We'll draw our Dawn. All right, interesting. The Arlong, his ability is Dawn × 2 and attacking. You can spend a Dawn, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 4 or less with trigger from your hand. So it's a kind of interesting ability. So he's putting 2. He's going to swing, and then he's probably going to be resting 1 and playing a card with trigger. Yep. Charlotte Katakuri. So I will... Or Charlotte Cracker. I will take that life. It's hoping for something spicy, but okay. Drawing a card. Drawing Dawn. I think... Do I want to play... Do I go for the Ohm here? Or do I go for the Sanji? I like Sanji's ability to protect me from some of the big trigger cards, like Charlotte Cracker, if my opponent plays a Don Krieg or something like that. I like the Sanji for that. But the Ohm could help me get some good board control. So I'm tempted to go... But the Ohm, I gotta risk it, and do I hit a Holly in the top 5? I think I swing with Enel first. See what my opponent does here. Are they going to take a life? Or are they going to block it? They are going to take a life. And now the question is, do I Sanji or do I Ohm? I'm thinking about Ohming here. Because next turn if I draw a Gadatsu, I'm probably going to want to play a Gadatsu. I recommend that because it does teach the basics of the game very well. Thank you, Civic. I think I'm going to go with the Sanji. Let's gamble. Let's gamble. Let's go for the Ohm. Let's try and hit the Holly. We hit the Holly. Let's go. Boom, baby. Return the card to deck. We saw 2 of them. We're going to play the doggy. And we're going to pass our turn. So this guy's ability is that when you play him, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you find one of these holies, you get to add it to your hand, and then if you have a holy in your hand, you get to play it for free. So for 4 Dawn, we get to play 2 characters. That's pretty good. That's going to help us balance out Arlong's ability, where they're going to be able to attach 2 Dawn, swing into us for 7, and still play a character. Enrique Niebla says, bang, let's go. No, don't hit the Holy, don't hit the Holy, don't hit the Holy, don't hit the Holy, don't buy the holy! 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 Alright. Yeah, no holy! Let's go! Oh, they didn't have the Dawn to play the trigger as well. I think I counter out of this. Oh, I don't have a 2K though. That kind of sucks. Alright, I've got a lot of cards in my hand with no counter power. I will actually take this one. No! See, this is the dark side where sometimes you see too much of your high end too early. Alright, alright. Now I at least have a 2K. But at least I'm going to be a little protected from the cracker. Surprised he didn't swing with the cracker. So we've got 4 Dawn that I'm going to be using to play for the Sanji. So I've got 2 Dawn. I think I swing with a bunch of 6s. So I think I go first with Holy. We swing for 6. And we just start burning 2Ks. Then we swing for 6 with Enel. I could have swung 5 and then 7. Alrighty, alrighty. So now we can't attack with the Ohm. Actually, you know what? See, I can't... So normally I would want to attack with the Ohm here. But the reason why I can't attack with the Ohm is because if I get my opponent down to 1 life, they can use the Cracker. And you might be saying, hey, they can't use the Cracker if you block it with the Sanji. But they've got this dang Django card. And the fact that they trashed Django makes me think that they could have another Django in their hand to play next turn, which would rust my blocker, and then they would be able to attack into me and probably kill me. So I think that I play the Starve route here, and I don't give them the life. And I leave the Ohm up. I want to try and drag this out to where I'm playing Yamatos. Next turn, I'm going to be at 8 Dawn. Oh, yeah. There's the Gin. Okay. I'm going to protect the Ohm here. I think board control, board presence is really good here. Almost as important as life. And I have the Enel leader ability. If I get down to 1 life to protect me, I'm blocking these. I'll take that one. I'll take the 7K. Oh, did I... I didn't expect them to swing with the Sanji as well. I did not expect that. That's crazy that I have 6 cards in my hand and no counter power. That is the downside. That is the downside to having so many of these big costed guys. Sometimes this deck just... And this is why I was hesitant to run the Thor as well. It's just another... And the starter deck Linlin. It's just another 2 cards with no counter power. Let's see. We're at 8 now. I could go gambling again, but it's our only counter, so I'm really hesitant to play our only counter. I could Katakuri, but I don't really have anything good to Katakuri on my end. And Katakuring my... I might Katakuri the Ohm. because he's going to be a 6k attacker. I think I swing into the bodies here. Try and see what my opponent defends. And I think I send it to the bottom of the life. It's got counter power, but all the cards had counter power. I think I just have to end turn here. Next turn we play the Yamato. And as long as we have 1 life, we can play the Yamato and pop one of my opponent's characters. So we're going to try and drag this game out. And chain these big high-costed characters. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I can't counter out of that. That is unfortunate. I can't. I can go plus 1,000, but that's all I can do, so we're going to lose Ohm. That's a tough loss. And did playing this guy just rested the Katakuri too? That's vicious. Wow. Wow. That is brutal. All right. I can't counter out of that. So there's our Katakuri gone. I will counter out of that. We're going to draw our Dawn. I think I put 1 on Enel and swing onto Gin. And the reason I'm not attacking the Cracker is that I think my opponent would defend the Cracker. I don't think he defends the Gin either, too. Okay, all right. Since we're playing the Yamato, we get to KO one of my opponent's characters. We're going to KO the Cracker. Maybe oh man, I should have lost the 1 life there because I would have been able to heal it with the Yamato. I'm dumb. I burned the Ohm. I should have taken the life and then Yamato'd and gained a life back. That was dumb. So I lost a card there. I lost a card. I lost 2 cards there, actually. That was a misplay on my part. I lost the Ohm and I lost whatever this card was, and this card would have gone on top of. So whatever card we draw next could have gone into our life. I can block this one, so I will block this one. I can't block this one, so I'll take this one. It's a trigger, so now we'll use it. I'm going to get rid of Thunderbolt. Alright, what is my opponent going to do from here? Interesting. Okay, we are absolutely going to play the Yamato here. Just so I don't mess this up. Play. Pop the Ohm. We're going to gain a life. We pop the Ohm. Because we had 4 between the 2 of us. And we gained the life. So that's what I should have done last turn. We still have a Dawn open here to work with. Put it on the Enel, and I'll swing onto Kurobi. Do I attack with the Sanji or not? They don't have any rush. I attack with the Sanji. I think it was better. I think it was good to attack with the Sanji there because there's too many cards that my opponent has shown me that has the ability to rest cards on play. So the Gin, the Kurobi, and the Django, that's 3 cards that they've shown me that can neutralize the ability to block, so I gotta just get the aggressive value out of them. I'll counter out of that. Okay, interesting. Oh, I was not expecting the Dofi. Oh, wow. The Dofi lock. Okay. All right. I can use Katakuri to put Sanji back into my hand. I think I do that. I think I was debating about playing Shura, replacing Shura in hand, and then Katakuri send Shura to the life, and then when he plays off the trigger, I get another card back into my hand. But I think it's better if I get rid of Gin and send Sanji back into my life. And I think I send it to the top. And then we end our turn. And we're gonna try and starve. So we got this stupid Doflamingo. Don't show me another Doflamingo. Don't show me another Doflamingo. Man, that was a really good play from my opponent. I didn't see that. Doflamingo's ability, as you saw there, is when you play, you lock 3 of your opponent's characters, and they can't refresh, go active again. So I had 3 guys rested. I just couldn't attack with them. Katakuri or Sanji? Yes, and +1 life. Yes, Enrique. Good call. We're on the same page. Check in and smash that like and wish you well. Thank you, Cali, dude. You did not play El Thor in this Enel deck? No, I was going for a more aggressive aggro version in this one, but I am definitely wishing that I had El Thor. Blocker, resolve attack. Use trigger. I'll drop the Shura. I have to keep the Amaru in case they play a blocker. I haven't seen them play a blocker yet, but I have to keep it just in case. We're gonna block with a Holly. Yo, Pokeballer Mike! Pokeballer Mike! Yo, Albino driving home for work, fam. Been working more, so cutting into my 4 p.m. streams, but I'll try to hop back in when I get home. Hype game for life. Yo, Pokeballer Mike. Thank you for joining us, and hope that you have an awesome, safe drive home. Thank you, and thank you for being a member for a whopping 15 months. Appreciate you, my guy, and hope that all is well. Hope that you have a safe drive. Thank you. Appreciate you. We're locked into a deadly battle right now. They played another Doflamingo. So we've gotta get the finish with these 2 cards here. Do I think I can do it? Yeah. I think I go 11. And then we go 12 with the Katakuri, and I don't think my opponent can get to 12 with no Dawn active. Yes! Oh man, that was a battle. That was a close one. I'm not gonna lie. The Dofies there were definitely making it tough, but we did still have the Enel ability that we didn't have to activate too much, but I don't know if we even had to use it. Did we have to use it once again? We might not have had to. The Yamatos were clutch there. I think the key to that strategy was starving my opponent, not attacking into their life too early, so that they limited what options they could play, and then slowly whittle away, I know I messed up one of the Yamato plays, but at least we had the other one was better value. And I think the Katakuri sending the Sanji back into the life after it got locked down was also huge as well. So all around, I'm pretty happy with that. But I do think that I'm going to end stream and send a raid over to someone else. I got to go hit the gym, grab some dinner, and there's a little bit of work I got to do tonight. But I will be live again this Friday. We'll be opening up some more Pokemon. Hopefully I can try and find some One Piece. I'm going to be checking the Targets, the Walmarts, the Barnes & Noble, you name it. And if anyone finds any OP05, One Piece, Awakening of the New Era in the wild, let me know, please. And you can let me know any of the comments on any of the videos or in the Discord as well. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Appreciate you all, and I look forward to doing more One Piece gameplay streams for you all in the future. But until then, let's go send some love over to the Madman PokeSurge. Been a while since we've sent a raid over to his way. Until then, everyone, I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace out. Let's go! Thank you, Platt, for 12 months, you madman! Thank you!